It's time to check your money with Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. Did I tell y'all that she was America's money maven? Did I tell how you doing, Vicki?
I'm doing great, George. How you doing?
We all right up in here today.
Yes, we are. Okay. I'm going to tell you something. Every time I see you with those headsets on,
yes,
I think, how come I don't get headsets? And then I remember, because my hair.
Well, and also I have to listen for certain things.
Okay, all right, fine, all right. So I want to kind of stay on our theme like we had last week.
Well, wait a minute. Before we get on our theme, can I ask you what are your Thanksgiving plans?
Well, I'm going to do the thing that I love to do.
Go ahead.
Go to my in-laws' house, okay?
Yes.
My sister and my brother-in-law, actually, they are incredible. It's not even cooking.
So, wait a minute. Isn't it your sister? You said your in-laws, but it's actually your sister.
It's my sister. That's true.
Yeah.
She's not my in-law,
No.
is she? Okay.
No, that's what I
my
wanted
sister.
to get that. She'd call you if you...
I know she will. Vicki Brackens, okay. My sister, okay, and my brother-in-law cook an amazing meal, and I look forward to it. And I have no shame in the fact that I am not the greatest turkey baster or whatever, but I do, always take some kind of side dish.
Okay.
All right, but so that's what I'm doing.
What's your go-to?
What, my go-to dish?
Yeah, like if Vicki gonna bring something, what is Vicki gonna bring?
Okay, well, you can always count on me for deviled eggs because I make incredible deviled eggs.
Yes.
You can always count on me for, actually, I make a really great chicken salad.
Okay.
You can count on me for chicken salad. And I'm really, really good with stuffed mushrooms.
Oh.
Okay. I love making stuffed mushrooms.
Okay.
All right, so those types of things.
Can y'all tell I'm trying to put my order in? Y'all see this? Y'all see this, right?
I see. Okay, but no, George. Okay, you can stop by. You know where?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. We got it.
And partake in the meal.
Got you.
All right. Listen, I'm going to go back to a central theme that we had last time we were here, and that is about debt and credit and borrowing, because there's another phenomenon that's going on that has reared its ugly head again, and that is around the area of borrowing in less than prime credit situations.
Okay.
So if you recall, it seems like eons ago, but when we went through the credit crisis,
yes,
we went through the big recession. One of the underlying things that was there was the subprime lending. Okay, subprime lending, basically taking advantage of individuals who really did not have the wherewithal for mortgages, poor people, okay, and putting them in mortgages that were eventually going to blow up, and it was known. Okay? As that took place, there were a lot of new regulations that were enacted so that there would be a correction relative to borrowing standards going forward. Not only borrowing standards as far as standards around who could borrow, but how much they could borrow, but more so the actual banking institution's responsibility around how they were lending money out into the public.
Gotcha.
All right.
So far.
And also during that time, there was a big outcry around something called payday loans. Do you remember that?
I do.
Okay,
they still have them, don't they?
But not as much.
Okay.
Because the payday loan industry was also under a microscope relative to the exorbitant interest rates that were being charged, which in many cases could be triple digits when you really looked at the effective interest rates on monies that were being borrowed.
I thought they had usury, but that's a whole other
That's a totally different thing.
Okay. All right.
Well, because of, again, the microscope that's been on that particular type of lending instrument, that industry sort of tamped down, and a new industry has sprouted. And that new industry is the online installment loans. Now, you've probably seen things coming through your Facebook feeds.
Yes.
Possibly also things that are coming through your Instagram pages.
Yep.
All types of things talking about the fact that you can get $2,000, $5,000, whatever, online installments stretched out over many, many months, so that it doesn't qualify as being a subprime loan. It doesn't qualify as being a payday loan because payday loans were lump sums that you had to repay. You were paying smaller increments as far as an installment payment throughout. Here's the bottom line of what's going on. Because, unfortunately, we have had stagnant wages for a very long period of time, and those wages have not kept up with inflation.
Mm-hmm.
The cost of living, even if you are working hard, is outstripping your ability to keep up with it.
Sure.
Okay. The average household was about $46,000 in income per year. And if you go through that 10-year period that we were talking about between the recession and now, and that increase has equated to about a 15% increase in income. But the basic basket of goods and services that you need has grown 20%, which means in some cases we've had even faster inflation around things like colleges, okay, as far as sending your kid to school,
mm-hmm.
medical expenses,
mm-hmm.
things of that nature, prescription drugs.
Yep.
So trying to keep up has become more and more and more difficult, and it's put many middle-class families in a squeeze. The installment loan process or installment loan industry recognized that and said, okay, fine, we don't want to get caught up in all of the new regulations relative to payday lending. What we will do is now create a new instrument called installment loans, but the interest rates over those installments are so high
mm-hmm.
that you are again in one of these spiraling cycles that you can't get out of, okay? So, and you end up paying far, far more than what the original principle was. And it's falling into the middle class category versus the subprime category because many individuals in the middle class category have okay credit,
mm-hmm.
but not superior credit to go out to typical traditional lenders to actually access the funds that are needed. So what does that tell me we need to do?
Yeah, what do we need to do?
Okay, what do we need to do?
More importantly,
what you need to do is this. You need to make sure we talked about your credit reports and monitoring
right,
and making all the changes necessary, mm-hmm. and looking at your utilization ratios and all those types of things. You just have to do it that way. If you need to stay within the traditional model, even if it means cutting back on some of the expenses or some of our expectations so that we can stay in the traditional banking model. Otherwise, you are always putting yourself in a position of being abused. And what I mean abused is that overpaying for and putting yourselves in situations where the debt servicing is crushing.
mm-hmm.
And we just don't want that. Okay? So stay on the traditional path as far as the traditional lending models. The credit unions are great vehicles, local credit unions. Build a banking relationship with your local banker. Build your credit scores over time. Treat your credit scores like gold. Don't let someone else
700 or better.
700 or better, okay? Don't let someone else tap into your credit by you, and what I mean by tap in is you signing for someone else,
mm-hmm.
okay, who as a co-signer and now making your credit history vulnerable to their behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But pay attention to what you are doing online when you get those loans, if you should get those offers, and really look at the numbers, look at the interest rates, and look at the numbers that are there, because you do not want to get caught into those situations. So George, at this point in time, I think I should probably say our plate is full, but before I do that, I want to remind everyone that we have a special event coming up on the 13th of December there with
the Iota Nu Omega chapter of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
All right.
Y'all gonna pay me for that, no more.
Okay, all right. They're at the
AKAs.
Okay, the AKAs at the Central New York Community Foundation Philanthropy Center on West Fayette Street, 6 p.m.
Okay.
December 13th at 6 p.m. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at area code 315-930-4499. Or, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel there at Brackens Financial Solutions Network.
Before you go,
yes,
I want to ask you about who's this event for?
The event is actually for individuals who want to grow wealth and understand how to pass wealth on under a good strategic legacy model.
Perfect.
Okay.
I don't think we really said what it was.
We did not last time. Thank you. I just said, come see me.
Right,
come
right.
See me,
I'm doing this. You're like, I'm doing this event. Well, what are you doing?
What is the event?
Right.
Okay.
And if you think about that, this is also part of the theme that Vicki's been talking about, transferring wealth in our generations, especially for our community, where the statistics show that even by the year, 2053?
2053.
Right? We'll have zero wealth. So this is a very important workshop to go through, and it's also consistent with Vicki's mantra of zero, no more.
That's exactly right. Thank you very much, George. That's why I have you.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, because you absolutely know how to close that deal.
Listen, yeah.
Okay.
Listen, so happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone in our listening audience. And I'll now say, our plate is full.
Apropos. All right, thank you very much. Vicki Brackens is, of course, your money sponsor, and Vicki is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC.